Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me, Ashley, Dream Chasing Hair. So, I'm gonna talk to y'all about my home owning experience. I'm gonna give y'all a real deal, what happened in my situation, and this disclaimer, that don't mean it's gonna happen to y'all, but this is what went down with me. So, me and my husband had been looking for a home for about a year. Well, getting in the process of looking for a home. So, being that he is former Navy, he was in Navy for like 10 years. When we were back home in VA, I was like, you know what? We can get that damn VA loan. The VA loan gonna be nice and easy, so I thought. So we started working with a credit specialist to get things, where they needed to be. We did that, and a couple of things, we had to pay off on our own, but other than that, it was going a little bit smoothly. And then we kept in contact with our realtor when we first started. When I first had a thought that, you know what, I want to buy me a damn house. I want us to buy a house. So I got in contact with a realtor named Alicia Solomon, and I'll leave all her info down below too. But she was tough, strong, bulldog in a dress, and I knew that she would help us out when that time came. So we were working with the credit. Credit was going up and down, up and down. I was like, God, we ain't never gonna get no damn house. Dude, irritated me. So let me see, almost a year later, what was it? When did we start? We started applying for a mortgage loan with this company called Cityworth Mortgage. Don't go with them. And it was only because we got a letter in the mail saying, you are pre-approved. So I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and try them out, because it was just hard for us to find a lender that we wanted to go with, especially that was going to work in a timely fashion that we wanted them to work in, because our kids was going back to school. So we had to find someone that we thought would move pretty quickly, and we saw all the reviews, and they were good and some bad, but I should listen to the bad. But anyway, drink my water real quick. Hold on. So we worked with Cityworth in about June. We got everything straight. We got the letter. We were approved for the amount, which was great. The amount was great. We got approved. So then we started. Then I contacted our realtor, Alicia. By the way, she's super professional, super on time. Everything was straight. So looking at houses. All the houses in Charlotte, I don't know if y'all been in Charlotte or if you live in Charlotte, but it's not like it's city here, but it's not city. It's more country. So it's like all the new houses that they're putting together, it's like you put your hand out and you touch your neighbor's face. That's how close the houses are. Like the newer houses. So, we have 4 kids in our house. My bonus daughter is 11, Malia. My oldest son, Zorion, he's 10. My middle son, Xavier, is 8. And my youngest baby is 3. Male is 3. So we needed more space from the rental house that we were currently staying in. So I knew I had an idea of what I wanted. I didn't want a cookie cutter Monopoly house that you see. Like, I didn't want to look like everybody else. I didn't want a vinyl. I wanted a full brick house with some type of space. So we had looked at a lot of houses. I say about 15, 14 houses in different areas. A lot of them were just not really cookie cutter, but it just wasn't for me. Like, a lot of them had the bedrooms, but didn't have the space between the neighbors, or didn't have a yard. Some had the backyard, but didn't have the inside space. So I was getting frustrated. So On the day that we found out that we were approved for the loan, we looked at 3 houses. And I had to take my younger son, Mel, with us on that day because I think it was on a Monday. Yeah, because he stayed home with me on that day. So we went to go see one house, which is the house that we live in now, the house that we bought, and 2 other homes. And I know it's going to sound nasty, so bear with me, but the first house we saw on this particular day that my youngest son was with us, we walked in the house and he said, "Mommy, I got a boo-boo." I said, "You got to do what?" "I got to use the bathroom." So we took him in the bathroom. I said, "Lord, this boy about to shit in somebody's house." Took him to the bathroom. So, and I'm going to tell you why I say that later. So we're looking at the house that we live in now, and I'm like, oh, it's different. You know, I rode up on the house, the neighborhood, the yard, beautiful, grass, space in between the neighbors, no HOA fee. This house is 30 years old. Built in 1988, by the way. We walked in, I was like, you know, it's different. It's not really what I sought out after, like, as far as, because we originally wanted like a open concept. But I was like, this house is beautiful. It's beautiful. And then, you know, we looked at the deck, we looked at the yard in the back. It had a sunroom. And then I go upstairs and I'm like, but it's only 4 bedrooms. So I was like, ugh. And then it had a man cave downstairs for my husband, so he was in love. So we left the house, and I was like, well, it's not gonna work because it don't have no 5th bedroom. We went to go see 2 other houses that day. We didn't like those houses. Those houses was just whatever. A couple days later, we went to go look at some other houses. We didn't like those either. So it's at the end of the week, almost a week after we got approved for the loan, and we were thinking like, you know what? That first damn house we went to, the older house with the yard and the space, that might work. And I was like, it ain't gonna work, Melvin, because it don't have no 5th bedroom yet. And you know, we was just chilling, taking shots. So, you know, our mind was just wondering anyway. So he was like, you know, it might work because it has another great room that we can turn into a bedroom. And I was like, you know what? It might just work. So I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? This is my house. And I took it as a sign because my youngest son boo-booed in the house. I was like, he felt at home. So maybe that's the house for us. So I called my realtor in the middle of the night. I said, listen, we want to put an offer in on that house, but we want to see it one more time. So the next day we came to go see the house, and I just felt like when I walked in the house, I felt like I was at home. I felt like it had been my house forever. Like it just took over me. Like I was like, I'm ready to sign papers right now. So we put the work in. We put in an offer. We were away on my stepdaughter's dance competition in Myrtle Beach, and we put the offer in. They countered. We took the offer, and we were under contract. Told our lenders, I was like, listen, we under contract. They were good to go. We were starting the underwriting process with them. So we under contract. 2 weeks later, well, not even 2 weeks, probably like a week or some change. We're trying to contact the lender, the lady at the lending company. She ain't answering no phone calls. She ain't answering no emails for me or my realtor. So we're like, what the hell is going on? Like, so my husband had to send her a nasty email, which I'm glad he did because I couldn't do it. I was about to go off on her. And just basically, you know, saying, you know, we've already under contract. You're not answering. We're trying to figure out what's going on. She's talking about, well, you have to call someone about the student loans, and you have to call the company to get it updated. And we were like, first of all, my husband was Navy, so he really didn't have any student loans, period. So y'all gonna trip over a $1,500 student loan? They were so unprofessional. I've never seen that before in my life. They didn't want to they didn't want to do their job to come in and correct the situation. Mind you, we were supposed to close August 22nd. So it's at the end of July, the early part of August, and we ain't got no, like, they have, she was supposed to order the appraisal. She didn't do that. She was like, oh, well, I ordered the appraisal, but I had to cancel it. Bitch, no, you did not. Because if you had ordered it, it would have been here by now. So basically, I'm at work, and I'm not a crier, but I was in tears. I was like, all this money that we put into getting the inspection done, getting the earnest money and the due diligence money to them, and now we probably won't be getting this house at all. So, we're sitting there like, what the hell are we gonna do? I'm at work crying. My husband was like, don't cry. Everything gonna work out. So our realtor had a contact in her back pocket, Chris Day at MVB Mortgage in Charlotte. He came in with his team and saved the fucking day. When I tell y'all, they saved the day. They saved the day. They scooped in, got us approved. And mind you, we had to go back and forth with the sellers because they were moving into their new house and they were ready to move from this house into their new house. So we were going back and forth, and I was just so stressed out. When I tell you I was so stressed, I couldn't even focus on getting my material for work together. Like, I was just so stressed. I couldn't even sleep because I was just like, God, please, this is our house. This is time for us. This is made for us. Our children need to see this. So we basically went with them back and forth, making sure our paperwork was absolutely perfect to go to underwriting. We went to underwriting process. It was very, very, very stressful. It was like a waiting game, the waiting game that you don't want to be waiting for. But it was real. They asked us every little question. When I tell you they drilled us for this loan, they drilled us. So we had to push back our date. We pushed back our date twice. But towards the end, we had to write a heartfelt letter about, why we were choosing this home and why we were ready. So we had to send that letter to the underwriters, and I just gave them all. Like, I just told them the truth. We're still young parents. We have 4 children, careers, and we are ready to have a place to really call home for them too. So we did that, and then on the 31st we were supposed to close, but we didn't hear back from anyone until, no, wait a minute, I lied. We got a phone call on the 31st, because that whole week of August the 31st, I was thinking that we wasn't going to get no house because the underwriters would take us so long to make a decision. So I was just like, you know what? I had given up. Like, I was so mad. I was like, you know what? We ain't going to buy no house. Like, it just ain't time. And I'm over here being Debbie Downer, and my husband was like, you need to be more positive. It's going to work out. It's going to work out, blah, blah, blah. So, I had just let it go. And the night before, I prayed to the universe. I prayed to God, and I was like, I'm going to leave it in your hands. You know what's best. I'm going to just leave it at that. Still stressed, though. So I'm at work on the 31st. I get a phone call. Say, Ashley? I said, yeah. She said, well, you close next week, September 7th. I was like, stop playing. Like, nope. 2:00. They have approved you. You are good to go. You are all the way. You and Melvin are homeowners. I said, Lord, you gotta be playing with me, girl. Happy. And also, the whole time, we were packing but not packing, packing and not packing. So we didn't tell anybody. Well, I told a couple people, just like a little bit of people. But my husband didn't tell nobody. So even the kids didn't even know. The kids did not even know we were moving. So when we were at the old house and we were getting stuff together, they was like, Mama, Ashley, why are we doing all this stuff? And I was like, because we getting new furniture. And I didn't lie, because we were getting new furniture, but, you know, I was just like, we're getting new stuff. And they was like, okay, you know. So, September 7th, we closed together. I was off that day. I took off that day. We closed. I was so happy and so nervous at the same time. So, we didn't tell the kids, but we picked them all up, blindfolded them, and told them that we were taking them on a surprise. And they were like, where are we going? I was like, don't worry about it. Just sit back. Just sit back. So we brought them to the new house. We told them that we love them and what we're trying to do for them and build for them. So when we're dead and gone, that they have something to remember and something to have. And that's what, you know, we wanted for our kids, basically. So we took their blindfolds off, girl. Well, not girl, but y'all. And they was crying. They was so, it was just one of the best moments we could ever experience together as a blended family. It was just great. Like, it was just everything. And that was one of the most special moments together. And I'm so happy that we could do that for them, because I had given up. And I was just thinking like it was not going to happen for us. So my story is to let y'all know that when you have a thought, a vision, something that you really, really want, it's going to happen. But it's just not going to happen when you want it to happen. It's going to happen when the universe wants you to have it, when God wants you to have it. So you have to be patient. And I'm so impatient. This has taught me patience and to know that everything happens for a reason. Everything is in its time. So just keep the faith and keep going. Things will work out, just not when you want them to. But I'm so happy to be in my home, and I can't wait to start decorating and having gatherings here for our family. And I'm gonna leave all the info down below. You know, so good luck to everyone out there buying a home. It's not going to be easy. It may be for some, but it wasn't for me. And other people that I talk to, it's never, ever easy. It's one of the most stressful things I've ever done in my life. But thank God I had a good realtor and a good lender and somewhat faith. I have more faith now, but I believed in what I wanted and I got it. And y'all can do that too. Just stay focused and do what you gotta do to get shit done. So, thank y'all for listening to me for about 18 minutes. Y'all have a good one.